I honestly think Lynton and Lynmouth might win the award for the cutest and most beautiful villages in the UK. They are twin villages and are often affectionately known as Little Switzerland due to the similarity in the scenic landscape and architecture. The resemblance was popularised by the Romantic movement poets Wordsworth, Coleridge, Shelley and Southey. So Lynmouth is the lower village which rests alongside the harbour, and then Lynton stands above, and it's connected by the Cliff Railway, which is still in working order today. Alternatively, you can take the path, which is what I did, by foot, and you can walk along Poets Walk, where you will see poems dedicated to all the poets that used to visit these two villages. There are lots of wonderful places to dine and grab a drink in both the villages. And I have to say it was looking particularly pretty when I visited because it was the Queen's Jubilee, so there was lots of flags and British memorabilia that made it look very quaint and English. I think I slightly preferred Lynmouth of the two because obviously you get to be by the water, and I just think there was a little bit more going on, but it's definitely worth taking the trek or the Cliff Railway up to Lynton to have a look at both, because the fact they're twin villages is what makes them so cool really. They actually used to be used to transport freight from the harbour town up into Lynton to the mainland. However, after time it became more of a passenger railway. Back in 1952, there was actually a devastating Lynmouth flood where overnight 100 buildings and 28 bridges were destroyed, 35 people died and a further 420 were made homeless. However, by the late 1890s, things were beginning to pick up again for these two twin villages. One was the arrival of the motor car, and people in the UK, especially upper class, realising that they now had more leisure time on their hands to go on holidays around the UK. The Lynton to Barnstaple Railway, also arriving in 1898, really opened the town up to visitors who could now find a way to get here that didn't own a car. It's definitely more of a summer place, as it still has very small populations even today, amassing around 2,000 people between both the villages. However, in summer, the influx of visitors just absolutely transforms this place, and it becomes a hub of thriving activity with cafes, souvenir shops, restaurants, antique shops, and lots more. So this is Poets Walk, And I consider myself pretty fit. I attend the gym regularly and I was still absolutely out of breath when I got to the top. So just be aware that it is quite a steep walk. Having said that, I was trying to beat my parents who took the car up. So I didn't rest. There are lots of benches along the route, so you don't have to do it in one go like I did. You can sit and stop and admire the beautiful views and the poems written by people in dedication of the poets that were here before. And at the top there's also all these white statues of angels and cherubs, and there's lots to look at along the way, so you don't have to steam through, you can take your time. You also get a great view of the Lynton and Lynmouth Cliff Railway, which works by 2 cable-connected cars using gravity and water tanks. First opened in 1890, it remains the world's highest and steepest water-powered cliff railway that is still in operation today. Sadly, my battery had died by the time I reached Lynton, and this was a point when I wasn't really filming to make vlogs for my YouTube. I actually want to go back and capture it all again, but I'm never going to get the Jubilee again. But I did manage to get some photos, so I'll pop them at the end of the video. So something you have to check out while you're in Lynmouth is this model railway shop. So it has a really big and then a smaller functioning model railway track, and you've got these trains that actually come round. It's really worth a visit, and there's lots of memorabilia and old photos and signage. I'm not sure how this shop really makes all of its money, but I think it's somewhat more of a passion project.